All right. So that brings us to what crazy thing did
Did
Hyatt
Hyatt
do this
do?
week?
Yeah, what did Hyatt do this week?
Well, Hyatt didn't, well, or what didn't Hyatt do, I guess. They didn't take the right certificate. So if you have multiple Hyatt free night certificates in your account, like let's say you've done 60 nights this year, or gotten credit for 60 nights this year in order to get globalist status with all the milestone benefits, you'll have earned a category 1 to 4 free night when you hit 30 nights, and then a category 1 to 7 free night when you've hit 60 nights. So
Right.
there's a lot of globalists in that kind of a situation. So you've got two different free night certificates in your account. Now, let's say you want to go and book yourself a category 4 hotel that ordinarily costs 15,000 points. Which certificate would you want to use? Of course, the
Obviously.
category 1 to 4, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's the one
yeah.
you'd want to use because that's the one that, caps out at category 4. You'd want to save that 1 to 7 for a higher category property. And it would be really nice if Hyatt gave you the option to pick which of those two certificates you would like to use when you're making a reservation. But unfortunately, they don't. And they just take one of them. And it's not always the one you want them to take. So somebody reached out to let me know that he'd run into this situation and he didn't realize that they took the category 1 to 7 for his category 4 stay until after the stay was completed. He went to presumably use the 1 to 7 certificate and it was just gone. So he reached out to Hyatt and said, whoa, hang on, I had a category 4 stay. I wanted to use the category 1 to 4 certificate. And Hyatt said, too bad, so sad. We can give you 10,000 points, which is a pretty poor resolution. Some readers
Yeah.
actually commented that got better resolutions on the same problem. But I mean, come on, Hyatt. I know everybody says there's no IT in Hyatt. I know it's been a running joke for years, but come on, it's time to get with the program, Hyatt. You got to make
Seriously.
that easier.
Right, right. So Rita wrote in with a good tip, right? That you could just book a stay for as far out as you can see to use your category 1 to 7 certificate and plan on canceling that later to get the certificate back. And that'll prevent Hyatt from accidentally using your category 1 to 4. The risk there is you might forget all about it. So set yourself
Right.
some kind of reminder so that you don't forget about that and you actually use it before it expires.
The other similar problem when you mentioned before it expires is that you might have a certificate from credit card spend and a certificate from the 30-night milestone, and they may have different expiration dates. And once
Right.
again, you would think that Hyatt would naturally take the one that's expiring soonest first, but of course you would think wrong because
Really?
that's
Really?
not necessarily. Yeah, a reader reached out to
What?
say the same thing, that Hyatt took the one that was expiring sometime in 2022 and left them with the one that's expiring this month in their accounts. So
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
I just assumed when you told the story about the category 1 to 7 cert being used that they picked it because it expired sooner than the
Mm-mm.
1 to 4, and that at least would have some logic behind it. But it
What?
sounds like it's
Not even necessarily
random.
that way. Yeah, I don't know. And when I ran into this situation, I was concerned that it was going to take my 1 to 7. So I proactively, before I made the reservation, reached out to the concierge on Twitter, the Hyatt concierge. We've talked about the Hyatt concierge on Twitter lots of times and how good they are, how they're able to take care of things and handle things. And so I explained I didn't want the 1 to 7 taken away. And they said, just go ahead and make the reservation, give them the confirmation number, and they'd make sure that it was done right. And of course I did. And they confirmed that Hyatt.com did indeed take my category 1 to 7, but they were able to replace it with one of my 1 to 4s because I did that before this day, right after making the reservation. So you can get that fixed. You could proactively reach out to Hyatt, but probably the easiest solution would be just to make a category 7 reservation far out with your 1 to 7. It's not going to help you though with those multiple expiration dates on various category 1 to 4 certs. So in that case, you'd probably have to either call or send a message to the concierge on Twitter.
Yep. Yep. All right. Good tip. Crazy Hyatt stuff.